Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. So today what we're going to look at is whether it makes more sense to buy or rent a property when you're doing the Schengen shuffle, which is 90 days in and 90 days out of Italy. Schengen countries are all countries that have the same immigration rules and that sort of thing. So in the Schengen countries, and Italy is included in one of them, you can stay for 90 days with your passport, but then you have to be gone for 90 days, and then you can come back for 90 days. So you have a total of 180 days in Italy, but they're not back to back. So it's 3 months in, 3 months out, and a lot of people take advantage of that. They love that. They come for 3 months, they leave, they just arrange their lives around that. First, we're going to start with the renting. These are the pluses. With renting, there's a limited commitment. Obviously, you're done with your contract, boom, off you go. And there's limited expense. You're paying rent, okay? It's not the same cost as buying a property. Although, if you want to look at it over the long term, 10 or 20 years, it might make sense to purchase a property. But that's something you have to crunch numbers on. Initially, your expense is limited. Another plus is you have freedom to move somewhere else. Let's say you arrive somewhere and you don't like the bugs, like mosquitoes or whatever, and you go, I can't stand these mosquitoes, I'm going to move somewhere else. You can do that without losing anything, and that's pretty nice. So those are the pluses about renting. Now let's talk about some of the minuses, because it gets a little more complex on that. Because you can do a long-term rental where you rent for years, and it's probably going to be less expensive, and but you're going to pay for time that you're not there. So, and then you can also get like an Airbnb and rent it for 3 months at a time. So if you look at that, long-term rentals, you're going to need to buy furniture and probably a kitchen. I've seen very few long-term rentals that have all that stuff ready for you. Most of those are already being rented out as Airbnbs. So for a long-term rental, you're going to pay less, but you got to put all this stuff in. And then when you're done with your rental, what are you going to do with all your stuff? So that's a bit of a problem. Long-term furnished rentals, hard to find, and they're going to cost more. Now, as far as rentals go, it's a limited availability. I haven't seen a whole lot of rentals in an area that have long-term rentals that would be suitable for somebody to go back and forth. Another minus for the short-term rental is if you're trying to get residency or citizenship, it's not going to work. You have to have at least a year-long contract that has to be recorded with the Comune. So you have to get the contract, you have to record it with the Comune, and only then can you use it for your residency application. So a rental you could do, you just have to make sure you do it right if you're going to use it for your residency. As we mentioned, for the minuses, you're going to pay for time that you're not there, and it's at least half a year. Now, if you go with a shorter term rental, and sometimes even a longer term rental, the prices go up in the shoulder season and in the high season. And I've even seen places in Scalea where they go, okay, for these months, it's going to be this, but in summer, it's going to go up to $3,000 a month. So you're going to pay $3,000 a month for July and August, where your rent might have been $600 a month, regularly. So understand that happens too. Normally they put that in the contract so you'll know it's coming, but it is a thing, so you have to be aware. So those are the pluses and minuses of renting. Now we do have some options for that. We have some things coming up that we will make known. We do know of a beautiful place in Florence where we stayed at. It's a friend of ours, and it is available for longer term renting. So if you are interested, let us know and we'll put you in touch with the owner directly. Okay, let's look at pluses and minuses of purchasing. Some of the minuses, it's going to cost you more initially. You've got to pay for the property, you've got to pay for the notaio's fees and inspections and all everything you would expect to purchase a property. But once you have it, you have it. Another minus about it is you have to learn how to purchase a property in Italy. It's not like in the United States or a lot of other places. You've got to know what you're doing, which is why you should go purchase our course. Now, if you want to purchase our course or you want to join us on the Skool community, the Skool community is free. You can go join, you can ask questions, you can do all kinds of things, and then you have access to the classroom where you can purchase our courses, and one of our courses goes over exactly what you need to know in order to purchase a property in Italy. So that's probably one of the first things you want to do before you do anything else. Another minus, which I actually think is a plus, is you stay in one place. You come and you're in one place. You don't go from city to city or town to town. You just always have your place in the town that you're there. Another thing is the cost for maintenance and for taxes and for, water and electricity and the whole thing. That's all part and parcel of it. But let's look at the pluses. There's quite a few pluses for purchasing, and we actually prefer purchasing because, well, for these reasons. Number one, it's yours and you can do whatever you want to it within the bounds of the regulations of the historic centers and all of that stuff. But you don't like the color of the bathroom, change it. You know, you don't like the way the bathroom's laid out, change it. Get somebody in, do some renovations, and fix it up exactly the way you want it. So that's really a nice thing. Another thing is you always come home to the same place. And when I say home, I really mean home. It feels like home. You've got your toothbrush there. You've got all your clothes, which it's always a joy to open up your closet after, you know, 3 months and go, oh, I forgot about that dress. I love that dress, you know, so you have everything here. You just come over, you don't even need to bring a toothbrush. Just bring over your makeup bag and you arrive and you're home, and it's wonderful. And I have to say that whenever we arrive home, in Italy, we always have a great greeting. The locals are so happy to see us. Everybody's like, oh, you guys are back, yay. You know, it's always a nice welcome. Another thing, and this is very important, is you are guaranteed availability no matter what time of the year it is. Your place is available. Now, here in Torita, we have a lot of events. We have the International Blues Festival coming up. By the way, stay tuned because we did a wonderful interview with Luca Romani, who is the man who puts on the International Torita Blues Festival. And he is really an interesting guy. So we did a fabulous interview with him, and it's coming up this weekend. In fact, we have Robin Ford, we have Stefan Hauk, we have several other really great bands, and a big blues festival dinner, which is going to be a lot of fun. But my point is there's events all throughout the spring and most of the summer here in Torita. At that time, the prices for B&Bs could go up, and they could go up by quite a bit. If you have your own home, you don't have to worry about that. You just arrive. And the nice thing about being in the historic center here, we don't have to drive anywhere for these events. We walk out, we walk down the street a little bit, and there we are. So it's really quite fabulous. Now, another thing about owning your property is when you're not there, you could rent it out as an Airbnb or a booking.com or something like that. There's a few things that you have to put in place to do it legally, but it's very easy to do, and you can get somebody to run it for you so you can make back a little bit of your money. Another thing that I like is you can use your place as a jumping off point to go visit other areas in Europe and in Italy. And we've done that actually in a lot of the spots that we've kind of jumped to and lived for a while. Mola di Bari right there in Puglia, you've got all the cruise lines that take you to the Greek islands and everything else. And then of course we're very close to Rome here in Torita, we're close to Florence, we're close to all these places. You can jump on a plane, you can jump on a train and go anywhere really. And it's very convenient. And you just take, you know, your little bag. You don't have to take your giant suitcase with all your stuff in it every time you want to visit another European country. And when you have your own home, you don't have to worry about recording anything with the comune or anything. You just show up with the deed when you do your residency, and it's proof of residency, there's no question. So obviously, we've chosen to purchase because A, we love having our own home. B, we love fixing up places. As you've seen, we've fixed up quite a lot of them. And we really love partnering with architects and whatnot in order to get that done. So this will give you something to think about. Now, don't forget, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Go to our Skool community and sign up there. It's free. You don't have to do anything. And then you can be in communication with us. And stay tuned, there's a lot more coming, especially our interview with Luca Romani. So there you go, guys. Hope that helps.